thugs, bad bees, you know what I'm talking about, females, they always seem to be sought after. And so this is not an uncommon tale, and it doesn't have to just be thugs and bad bees. It can be the biker guy. It's always something that has to do with somebody that has like an edge of danger, or what have you. Where I'm going with this is recently, and probably over the course of time, I've been, told by women that, I want a thug. And even recently, I want an educated thug. Cool. Now, for a lot of women, they'd already been down this road and it turned poorly for them, so there's a draw to something like that. With the educated side to educated thug, I simply said, really, if you get to that point in life, then you're stuck more with the thug than the educated, because, and I don't mean to like smash anybody, but really, if you educated yourself enough, then you would know to separate yourself from the thug. Thug it's when we know the definition being that it has criminal intentions and things like that. If you've taken the stakes to go and educate yourself, whether it's through college or not, you would cease to want that lifestyle for yourself because you've realized better through your education. And it kind of goes along with the saying, you can take a person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person, or you can, take this person out of, the sticks, but you can't take the sticks out of the person. So what that speaks to is at the bottom base level, when things get to just a very instinctive point, that thug's going to come out. That person's going to come out. That edge of trouble that you want, and it may be at a level that people don't want or aren't used to, aren't comfortable with, or did not fantasize in their mind when they were thinking about, whatever it is that they envision in their thug. Now, an educated thug certainly does not have to be the guy who, got out of prison and, has, read a bunch of books and things like that. I say congressmen. I say a lot of law officers. I say a lot of people in positions of affluence and power, Wall Street, you name it. There's a whole lot of thugs, educated, walking around beyond what these people are thinking. Because I know when people are talking about thugs, what they're talking about is, the black and milds, do-rags, pants sagging, certain music, things like that. Sorry. These, in many cases, are the people that leave more damage in their wake than they actually, found these people in a state of. When you're talking about, and again, these are stereotypes, and I'm not going to throw them just onto the black community as we see thugs when we hear that word, but we're talking about people who have left children behind to have no fathers. We're talking about no support being sent. We're talking about shades of just all sorts of abusive ends of it, when you're talking about possibly physical, emotional, sexual, you name it. So really, what do you want at the end of the day? You want a what? Cool. But when you're talking about introducing your children to that, when you're talking about introducing your family to that, what are you opening Pandora's box to? What are you bringing into your life? And how is this person bettering your life? If they've done those things possibly that you may or may not know of to other people, or you just know what they're capable of, what do you think is going to happen to you in the end? That's the interesting part of all of that. What are we saying about ourselves when we are willing to put ourselves into that sort of company, that sort of person who may or may not, treat you well over some course of time or at all? When does the other shoe drop? But again, I digress, because I will, in all, disclosure, say, although I am not like thug that people think of, like I've never done drugs, I've never, left my children high and dry, I don't have a felony record, things like that. I dress a particular way that does not, send me flags. I've never been a part of any gang activity. And by gang, I can say I mean not just Crips, Bloods. I mean, I've not been part of a motorcycle gang. Yes, Hells Angels, those are gangs. other groups like that. Never been a part of La Costa Nostra, as some of you know, as the mafia. I've never been part of the police force, because there are thugs there. I've never been an elected official, and yes, there are thugs there, educated ones. So I'm just pointing these things out, but I've done thuggish things, and that's something that I have to move forward with. But I was educated enough to know that that's not what I need to do, and because I got myself into it, I also thought myself out of it. I got myself to a point where the education told me that these aren't the things that I need for my life. These aren't the things that are going to better my life. And these aren't the things that are going to better the life of the people around me. So I'm fortunate because I wasn't born and raised into it. So I don't have many of the built-in, beliefs and responses and instincts that a lot of people might, if they were born into circumstances that would deem that they needed to be more that way. And this is not to knock these people. This is more questioning the person who says, I want a smart criminal. That's what educated thugs translates to. Smart criminal. This is what you want. Okay, cool. I guess. And no rant about it. It's just one of those things that came across my bow, so I figured I would just speak to it, just because it was one of those things. I found it extremely interesting. I'm going to leave it at that. Think wisely. Be more educated than the people that you want to introduce into your life, especially if thug, criminal, bad B comes with it, or any other red flags and warning signs. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.